This is the burial site for John Elmer Menser, a grandfather to me, a father to Kenneth Menser. And he has this whole line of siblings that are all buried out here. His mom and dad are down there. I never knew John Daniel, which was this man's father, but apparently he was quite a rascal.
How many siblings does John Elmer have?
You have to count from that list over there, but we found most of them.
10.
John Elmer's one of 10.
One of 10.
And Kenneth Menser's dad.
And Jessie Lee's his mom, or is that the second?
Jessie Lee was not the mother. She was the second wife.
Okay.
And this mother, Dad's mother, is buried at the Ausenbaugh Cemetery.
And her name is?
Lucy Esther Capps.
Lucy Esther Capps is not at Piney Grove. She's at Ausenbaugh.
Okay, this is the gravesite of John Daniel, which would be my great-grandfather, and his wife, Minnie Bell. And they had lots of children. Among them were John Elmer, Robert Nelson, Jewel, Grace, Ainora, Truman, and there's a big long list of them.
So this is Martha Ann Bashir Menser, married to Charlie Israel Coote Menser, who is the parents of John Daniel Menser, who would be the parents of Pa's parents.
Kenneth Menser,
So
great.
John Daniel to John Elmer to Kenneth.
Very good.
This is the monument for Henry Patton Alexander, who was the father of Minnie Bell Alexander Menser. And his wife is buried someplace else, I think.
Right here.
Oh, is
That's
that?
Cyrilda.
Oh, is that Cyrilda?
Henry Patton and Cyrilda.
Okay.
Here's Cyrilda. So these two were married.
But several of them have the one is here and one is someplace
It's
else.
separate.
Aunt Jewel, who had been a sister to Truman and Elmer and Robert Nelson and Ainora. Right. Oline was Aunt Oline. We always referred to her as Aunt Oline. We didn't know she had a first name of Edra till she died, and there it appeared on the monument. She married very late in life and had no children. And then when she passed in 2017, Dad and Diane Back and Dot King were like nieces and nephews to make arrangements, and Diane and Dot did most of it. Dad always said she got the most expensive coffin and vault that could be had because they spent every drop of her money. They didn't want anybody fighting over it. Out of the cemetery, this is the burial spot for R.E. Pidd Alexander. Dad always referred to him as Uncle Pidd, and I'm pretty certain that Uncle Pidd is a brother to Minnie Bell Alexander Menser.
All right, so this is Frida, and who are we with here?
This is Frida, and this is my first husband, Gary, Dennis. And when I die, I'm going to be here. I want to have a open casket if I'm not blown up or whatever, but be buried next to Dennis. And then with Gary, I would like, or he wants to be, quote, shake and bake. And so we'll have an urn and put it between us. And then I'd like to get him a military headstone and put that over him, and that'll be it. So
Perfect. We've had a change of location, so we're at Ausenbaugh Cemetery now. So when you come out of town on 62 and you make that left like you're going to go out to Piney Grove, there's an immediate right, and this is Mount Hebron Church Road. Ready?
Lucy Esther is the mother of Kenneth Menser.
Yep.
She's buried at Ausenbaugh Cemetery and died in 1944.
Mm-hmm.
So Dad was born in 32. Do the math. So
10 years old.
10 years old.
Oh well.
So
Y'all gonna let
then,
her out.
John Daniel,
John Elmer remarried
remarried
Jessie Lee.
Who we saw at Piney Grove.
Correct.
This is Amanda Capps, who would be the mother of Lucy.
Lucy Esther. My maternal grandparents, Jessie Clyde and Nora Jane, and they're buried at Ausenbaugh Cemetery. And this whole road down through here are people that are in general related to Mama Blaylock.
So we call them Mama Blaylock
this was Mama Blaylock and Pop.
and Pop. All right.
And then they had a baby that died either at birth or just shortly thereafter. So this was Gladine. And for years, it was just the baby's grave. And this would be Mama Blaylock's parents, Elijah and Isabel Darnell. Or Darnell. And I can't remember. Mama Blaylock was very specific about whether it was Darnell or Darnell. And I can't remember, and there's nobody left for me to ask.
Rita says Darnell. Mom, what's going on with all these rocks?
My grandmother always told us that this was
Would that be Nora Jones?
That's what?
Would that be Nora Jones?
Nora Jane.
Nora Jane.
Nora Jane always said this was the burial place for Simeon Smith's first wife. And she was one of the first graves that was ever done here. And it was covered with the rock so that animals did not come and get to her.
So we think that's
So
her
those
origins.
rocks have been there since I was a little girl coming out here with my grandmother, because they would have an annual day for the graveyard cleaning, and you came out and you mowed and you repaired the fence and you put dirt where it was filling in, like this monument that's tipping over. They would do all that kind of stuff, work day, one day a year, and then you'd have a big dinner, potluck dinner, and they had a fence, like fence wire that you set up on a table, and everybody spread their tablecloth on it, and you had to have things that didn't fall down through. You know, big jar of pickles sitting there, and it just right through the fence.
Just pickles. Be all right.
Just pickles. But I mean, that's just an example.
So we're in the back corner of Ausenbaugh with this Menser marker and Larry Joe. And Mom was out here with Kenneth Menser with Pa one day, and what did he tell you about Larry Joe?
That's my half brother. That there's the story that Elmer hooked up with some woman, Margaret Kramer, and they had Larry Joe, and then there's a sister to Larry Joe, and her name is Judy, but I don't have any idea about her age. This man was born in 1950, so that would make him considerably younger than what Paul was, but he already died in 2019. Margaret Cummins.
Cummins is not the second wife. She's
No,
a
they never
third woman.
married.
So she wouldn't have been marked on that.
Correct.
This is Susan's Bud Sparks over here in the Ausenbaugh Cemetery. And she was engaged to Bud in 2008 and didn't attend our wedding because she was grief-stricken after he passed. So there's Bud out in Ausenbaugh, and that's where Susan wants to be married too. Buried.